dope ass dude podcast. Transparent conversation. Real life stories. Hustling, grind, transparent conversation. Real life stories. Hustling, grind.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to be back with you guys on tonight. Really excited, and we have a great show lined up. I'm telling you, it's going to be really good. So I hope y'all are ready. I already see we got Keon. Keon, welcome back, my brother. Week 2 for you. And Jackie Gordon, welcome, my sister, and Lavette. Happy to see all of y'all in the chat already. So thank you for being with us on tonight. Again, we have a great show. I'm really excited about the show, the topic, my guests, and everything. I think they are going to be like phenomenal. Well, I know they're going to be phenomenal. So you guys already know the preliminary things. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead, subscribing to the YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on subscribe and notifications so that you can be notified each and every time a new podcast is uploaded to the site. And then also, before you leave off, wherever you are, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or X, if you don't mind going ahead and clicking like right now so that this can be shared with others just like you. So take a moment, click on like so it can be shared with others just like you. Now, if you're unable to catch it on Mondays, you know you can always listen on the go. It's on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And you already know you can watch it live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Again, that's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. You can always watch it there each and every Monday at 7 p.m. And then if you're not following me on TikTok and Instagram, if you don't mind following me on both of those platforms, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. Again, that's both Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. And we'll go ahead and get my guest information out of the way. You can follow Coach J. Coach Jeanine Mack. She's been a guest before. You guys remember her. She's the author. She's an author. She's a transformational coach. She's a motivational speaker. This woman is like fire. So you can follow her on both Instagram and TikTok. You can follow her at Coach J Max, and that's MAXX. So Coach J Max. You can follow her on Instagram and TikTok. And you can follow her on YouTube. Her platform on YouTube is Jeanine Unscripted Podcast. So again, Jeanine Unscripted Podcast. She posts a lot of videos out there, motivational videos, encouraging physical, activities. She's always out doing something in the community, always checking stuff out, whether it's food venues or just living a beautiful life. So check her out, watch her stories, and then you can follow that guy. You guys tend to know Eric as well. He's been on the podcast several times before, one of the most hated guests on the podcast, but he's back tonight. He's laughing back there, but yeah, he's back tonight. And y'all probably going to hate him even more after tonight. But you can follow him on Instagram at White Towel Luxury. So if you're in the DFW Metroplex and you need a mobile detailer, Eric is your guy. He's that guy to do that for you. And he has a couple of other business ventures that he is launching right now. So I'm really excited to allow him to share that with you all on tonight. And we're going to go ahead and bring both him and Coach J out. Coach J, Eric, what's going on?
Hello,
What's
everybody.
up? What's
Hello.
up? Hello.
How y'all doing?
Oh, we good. We good.
Good.
Y'all ready
Good.
to?
Glad to be back with you.
Yeah, and I'm happy to have you back. So what's been going on with you since you've been here?
Well, for me, I've been finishing my 12th book. And so I'm just trying to tie up a few things. You know how us creatives are. I thought it was finished and then I slept on it, looked at it back up, and I was like, all right, let me change some things on this. And so that's what I'm working on is finishing up my 12th book. So you heard it
Wow.
here first.
So,
So I will be dropping that soon before this year is over.
oh, you're releasing it before the year is over.
Yes, I'm holding myself to a date. Yes.
Oh, wow. So can you share a little bit about what the book is going to be dealing with?
It is something that boy moms will enjoy. It's something that they will enjoy. I'll say that me being a boy mom, well, mine are men now, but that's a special club that all of us that just have sons, it's definitely a little special club, unwritten that we have. So I want to do something special for all the boy moms out there, and then I'll have something for single women coming right after that. So that's why I have myself on the deadline to get this one out this year so I can go into 2026 with something for our single ladies.
So do you think it requires a little bit more for a mom to raise boys or men? Do you think it requires a little different than it does to raise a girl?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because in my case, I've never been a boy. I've just been raised with brothers. No shade, no tea on anyone else. But I was a Barbie girl, baby dolls, baby alive, all of that. My brothers were Star Wars, wrestling, G.I. Joe, 18, all of that. If you're an 80s kid, you identify with all those things. So in my mind, I never thought that I would have all boys. I knew it was gonna. I would have a little girl that would do ballet like I did dance, all those kind of things. So the shocker is I had to restructure my whole plan every time they said it's a boy. Um, and just adjust my expectations. But it was definitely a joy. It was definitely a journey. It took the village. I am one of those people that are a strong believer it takes a village. And so every football coach, every basketball coach, every male teacher, my brothers, so the uncles, all of them were an integral part in raising my sons. I can only take partial credit. I can only be the mom. That's it.
Yeah, wow.
And their father, of course, and their father.
I think that's phenomenal because I think just raising kids in general, I think it takes a village to raise them. But when you have a mother raising boys or you have a father raising girls,
Hmm.
I do think it requires even a little bit more effort from the village in those scenarios because, like you said,
Absolutely.
you're treading in waters you are not familiar with.
No. I'm big on phone a lifeline, phone a friend. Ask my brothers, I'm like, hey, what this mean? Hitting by 12, smell a little different. What that mean? So all the things, that requires that matriculation from boyhood to manhood, I can only do the smothering mother love. And then also I learned a lot about Marvel, X Men, Superman, DC Universe, Marvel Universe, Star Wars. I never saw a Disney Princess movie until they were grown. So I had nobody to go with me for that. But boys run rampant in our family. Out of 9 grandchildren, there's only 3 girls of my mom's grandchildren, and so my nieces were away, so I really didn't get like that girl time with
Yeah,
them until they were older. So,
yeah.
and then I got a chance to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely the village. Definitely every summer coach, every after school coach. Everybody had a hand in forming who they are today.
Yeah. Wow. 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 Eric, so what's been
Yes.
going on with you since you were here last?
Let's see. Obviously, continually to do the detailing business, and then I just started a clothing line. So I'm in the midst of
Oh,
birthing that, and that's been a wonderful experience from taking the product from where it was last year to where it is this year, and now trying to get out and get exposure. Had a couple of investors that were interested in the product, but then we hit a snag on some things. So that was an eye opener for me. I was a little disappointed, but then the lesson learned is keep pushing. Don't let anything stop you. Don't get discouraged. The information that you learned in that process was very, very valuable. So I took that process, turned my whole attitude around and kept it moving.
Yeah, and that's how you have to be. Once you try something and you have those moments that it seems like it's a roadblock there or something that slows you down, you have to pivot. You have to think outside of the box and try something different. But giving up is not an option. Never when like with people like you.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to share about your clothing line or are you just gonna wait
Well,
until
so
you
I came up with this idea. I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagle fan, and so last year I got to playing around with this concept to where I could take a jacket and put an LED panel on the back of the jacket and just trash talk my opponents without having to say anything. So the place where we go watch the football games in Arlington called Walk-Ons, I went in there and I mean it was a big hit. But the first prototype was like falling apart, and then John, I even called you and you like, that ain't it. You need to go back to the drawing board. And I just kept going back to the drawing board, going back to the drawing board, and just kept on doing it. Bought a sewing machine, didn't know how to sew. Met some people that uh, was going to sew the garment for me. That didn't work out. So I just bit the bullet and invested in a brand new digital sewing machine, took some sewing classes, and now I get in there and turn the product out myself. So
wow.
I got the sports side of it, and then I have the business side of it where small businesses can basically I can construct a garment for a small business and they can use it for marketing purposes, and you can control it from your phone via an app. And so it'll eliminate you from having to do print ad campaigns and whatever season it's in, whether it's uh, Valentine's Day, uh, St. Patrick's Day. You can change it to that and then, do your marketing. So that's where I'm at. And then I got a big opportunity Wednesday morning. I'm going down to the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center here in Dallas, and they have a small business expo. So I'm just get out and walk around and show my brand, the walking billboard guy, and see what happens.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And like that's the thing that I really truly admire about you. As long as I've known you, you've always been a visionary. You think it and then you make it happen. You implement it. You're not just someone who thinks on it. What was your saying? If I tell you a duck and pull a truck,
If I
hook
tell
'em
you a
up.
duck and pull a truck, hook it up. I ain't gonna say the
Yeah,
other
hook it up.
part, but if I tell you a
Yeah.
duck and pull a truck, hook it up. I tell you a
Now
duck
that's
and pull a truck, hook
sexy.
you know, um, the one thing about me, and a lot of people say, man, look, I admire whatever you start, you execute it. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna start nothing and then stay paralyzed in that position. And if you're thinking about starting a business or whatever you're thinking about doing, any kind of movement is better than no movement. And
Yeah.
so that's what I've learned. I mean, if it's nothing but registering the business name, going to the bank and getting opening up account, do something. And then when you look back a year later, if you're still stuck in the same spot where, well, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about doing this, but you look back and well, hey, I got the business name. I started the business account. Let me start doing this, and just because You don't know the whole process, and you just have to learn it as you go.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you a question, Eric. And yeah, I want your raw, authentic answer. So, Eric, are you a high value man?
Not in this season.
What?
Not in this season.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay.
you have to ask yourself the question: what are you? What is the mark of the high value man? You know, is it monetary? Kevin Samuels always said a high value man was that man that was making upwards of $100,000. Well, I used to be in that category. Right now in this season, I'm not in that category. So if you're you know forecasting it on that, no, I'm not. But then the mental aspects of it. It's just what what area are you benchmarking this on?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
the
mean,
question.
but no, I have no definition or no
Okay,
expectations
okay.
of what you believe a high value man. I'm
Well,
just asking you, are you a high value man?
in this season, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a high value man in this season right now. Now, once I come out of this season and then elevate, and then once I get all of these little mechanicals that I got going on in the background to execute it to get back, to the level that I was, then that's when I would consider myself a high value man. So right now I don't.
So finances calculate into your definition of value. Finances, you deem having over $100,000 as your salary, that is one of the criterias for being a high value man. Not Kevin Samuels, but you.
Well, so when I was driving trucks, and I used to talk to one of my buddies, and once I hit the six-figure mark, I used to say, "Hey man, I'm a six-figure NIGG." You put the other letter in there, and that's what I would consider myself. And when I'm making the money and I'm able to execute and do the things that I'm doing, yes, I had a I had a larger standard of myself. But then once I walked away from um, a job and started my business, now I got to start from zero and build it up to that point. And I don't feel like I'm on that level right now. I don't feel like I'm on that high value level internally.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that. So Jeanine, are you a high value woman?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to share a little bit more?
I just wanted to, what I mean, okay, so let me just say, let me just say. So let me give context. So right now, out here in the what they call the pink pill community, women are online, podcasts, the whole night, in person, all the things there at brunch, and they say a high value man to them is that a man that has the three sixes. Are you all familiar with what the three sixes are?
No, share with us.
Okay, so is over 6 feet tall, six-figure income, and 6 inches of measurement. And you can put those measurements wherever your thoughts will make you go. Now, I am of the persuasion that the value comes from something intangible. And so I was just sitting here thinking while Eric was talking, and I just had the question in my head is, did your character change? Did your intangibles change when your income changed? Because if those things didn't change, then you're still a high value man. It's not the dollar amount that's in the bank. And I'm not saying a man has to be broke. You're a visionary, you're an entrepreneur. I was on your IG page earlier, like you're hustling, you got your content out there, you're doing your thing. And most people will look at that and be like, wow, wishing they could be where you're at right now. So my question is, did anything of your character go down with your income? And I can very well see that answer is going to be no. So what I consider where I place the value on a human being is in those intangibles, because those are those things that are going to count the most. So when I say I'm a high value woman, I'm saying those intangible things that you cannot get with another woman. I have the compilation of all that, and that's what I am bringing to my own self esteem, my life, and that I would share with someone else to help build, cultivate, nurture what that man is doing. So that's where I say my value is, and I say that's where your value is as well. And anyone that is measuring value by any other kinds of means, I think they have really missed the boat altogether.
I agree. I agree with you on that. So I'm going to ask everyone that's in the comments, are you high value? If you're out there in the comments, are you high value? Yes or no? Just put it in the chat. And Gay puts thumbs 23 and 77 for as a man. Think it in his heart, so is he. And I agree with that. Like, if I think that, like, and the reason I asked this question was because I was on a podcast maybe like 3 years ago, and that was a question that they asked me. They asked me if I was a high value man, and I posted this video on my page, and I said absolutely, I am. I believe I am, but value is not what I think to someone.
Right.
So someone else may, just like Jeanine just said, you may not make six figures, but there are other areas in your life that is extremely valuable to someone.
Hmm.
They find value in that. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting to hear you say, you don't think you are a high value man based only off of income. Because I think you're a high value dude. So, but
Hmm.
you don't?
That
It's not
hustle,
that
that drive.
yeah, it's
Say that
not
one
that
more time, Jeanine.
I don't think, valuable, but coming from where I came from and what I used to be in, and those expectations, and then when those things change drastically, and you're unable to provide like you had been, you're unable to do the things that you used to do. Now, all I'm saying is I can't do them today. Tomorrow will be a different story. I'm just saying what it is in today, and that's just how I look at things.
Right. And just to comment on what you just said, like you're unable to do what you were able to do before, but that's where the partnership of a relationship come in. That's where she picks up the slack where you're
Hmm.
unable to. I have a buddy, he works for the IRS, and his wife is just an educator, and he makes six figures on his job and everything, but they were furloughed for those 41 days. He wasn't getting nothing.
Hmm.
And his wife had to come in and pick up the load. And when she
Hmm.
picked up the load, he showed value in other ways. He was
Hmm.
cooking, he was cleaning. They have three kids.
Yes.
He dropping the kids off at daycare, picking them up every day, cleaning up around the house. When she came home, she didn't have anything to do. And he shared with me that he has a newfound appreciation for his wife, but she also have a new appreciation for him, because
Hmm.
when he was out of work, she took on the stresses of making sure that mortgage was paid, groceries is in
Hmm.
there. So they were able to see the importance of each other. And I think when you're in a relationship, if you meet somebody and you lose your job or you're not making what you used to make, that's where they pick up the slack. But everybody don't think that way.
Yeah.
No, 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 absolutely not. Absolutely
Do
not.
do you think
Because
that way, Eric?
well, yeah, I do think that way, but you have to have the right person on your team with that mindset.
Hmm.
That because there have been multiple situations that I've been in when I was making the money, and then it was always, oh, you got it, you got it, you don't know what I'm going through,
Hmm.
and a lot of times I didn't share what it was because I didn't feel safe enough to share it, you know, and that was probably something that I needed to work on myself, but I didn't. I basically just shut down, and it's always hey, you got it, you got it, and just hey, worked hard and went out there and made it happen.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So we got some comments and the thing. Omar said, "Hell yeah, he a valuable man." Okay, Omar.
Okay.
Levin, Levin says
Thank
yes.
you.
Pat says yes.
Hey,
J
Pat.
Mac, J Mac, that's you come in. She said yes.
No, my sister is J Mac also.
Oh, what's up, sis? Sis said, hell yeah, I'm a high value woman. Yeah, I'm a value woman. Corey said he's a high value man. Jackie said yes. Oh, got yes. And then we got a lot of yeses out here.
We got a lot of
Okay.
yeses tonight. Okay.
We got a lot of yes.
Yes,
Oh, Miss Tiff said
yes.
interesting. Miss Tiff, what's interesting? What Eric said, or that we're talking about whether or not you're valued, whether you're a high value. Okay. So Eric, let me ask you this question here. So, what value can a woman bring to your life?
Listening.
She ain't got to
Listening.
Mm.
have a she ain't got to have a job.
Well, I mean that at this point, you talking about at the top. That's the first value I look for, because if you don't listen to me, you ain't gonna follow me. So if you listen to me, then you'll follow me. And so then we'll just start going down the list. But right now, listening. And after a few minutes of conversation, if you start cutting off, interrupting, this, that, and the other, I'm good.
So, what other value does a woman bring to your life?
Um, what other values? Great sex. We got to put that in there. Um, um, what else? Them probably about the top two, and I'm just gonna be real and authentic with you. Listening,
Does she
great.
have to
Oh,
cook?
say it again.
I said, does she have to cook? A woman got to
Yeah,
feed you.
yeah. She
Okay.
Okay, see, God,
Oh, did we lose Eric?
you done lost Eric. He was about to talk some foolishness. Okay.
He was about to cook.
So,
Eric.
okay, Eric,
Oh,
you back?
yeah, a great cook. A call came in. Sorry about that. Yeah, a great cook. My mind ain't thinking as fast as it needs to think, but we'll start off with those three.
So, cook, listen, and great sex. Those your top three?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, shut up, put out, and cook. Okay. That's what he need
And
y'all to
put
do.
on the
Shut up,
table.
shut up, put out, and put on the table. That's all he needs y'all to do. That's value in his life. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And it doesn't, with most men, it doesn't take a lot to please us. It doesn't take a lot. You know, hey man, just give us the simple things that we want. Life is good. I'm a very,
Okay.
very
Okay.
simple guy. Yeah.
Okay. So, Jeanine, what value can a man bring to your life?
okay, so that's a good one. He can bring stability. He can bring protection. He can bring comfort. Um, like those are the three that stick out in my mind right now. Values. He can also bring value to me because of who he is. And it's nothing like being with somebody who takes value away from you. So definitely, the right man will add value to my life as well too. And what I'm really talking about that core is like purpose. You know, like I'm in tune with my purpose and where I'm going and what my vision is for my life. So I would say I would want somebody who's going to add to that, and that is very valuable to me because there's nothing like the wrong person to take you off course. Been there and done that. But when you have somebody that is strong in those areas where you may be weak at, let me say it like this. When Eric was speaking, I was thinking about having 100%. And it was Pastor Keon that said sometimes you're 100%. You might be at 20% that day and your partner has to bring 80. That's our 100%. And vice versa. We may be at 50-50. Like, all I can give is 10 today, or today I got zero. I'm batting zero. I need you 100%. So where you're going to get that is, like I was saying earlier, is in those intangible things. I can't get that. I can't get discernment from your bank account. I can't get attention or listening or care. I can't get that from your bank account, but I can get that from you if that's what you're offering, you know? So it's those intangible things that mean a lot to me in this chapter of my life, because for me, I've already quote unquote made it, or I take care of myself. I afford the lifestyle that I live. So I'm not looking for a man to do those things for me per se, but it's all those intangible things that bring so much value.
So do you run into men that are not so much threatened by that, but the fact that you don't need them in those regards? Do you come across men that have an issue with that? That date
I
you maybe?
never
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I never tell a man I don't need him. Why? Why? I never, and I think for me, having to raise three sons really gave me a up close bird's eye view of the power of a woman's words in a man's life. And so my perspective is going to be very different from most women, what they are saying out here, because I understood something very, very early on, is how much weight my words carry over my son's lives and how that was shaping them. So, um, I would let them bring in a heavy grocery bag because they want to show me their muscles. They're like, look, mom, like, I'm helping mama, I'm carrying it. It was just so much I could talk about with that. But it really gave me a up close bird's eye view of what that looks like. I have never, and I will never ever tell a man that I don't need him, because women saying that is so self defeating, and it's keeping them single. It's keeping them having a mindset when they do get a man. That's the first thing come up in an argument. So, like, why would you say that? We need each other. We were built to need each other. Our bodies are crafted to need each other. Everything about us is crafted to need each other. So I do need a man. Even when my son's around, I'm light as a feather. I'm like that at the airport. I gotta fly out, and I gotta put that bag up there. Oh, help me, help me, and they do it. So it's all of those things. I would never ever put that out there in the atmosphere that I don't need a man. I tell them I need them.
Okay, so let me ask you this here. So, is there ever a time that maybe
Mhm.
your actions tell him and maybe not your words tell him that you don't need him?
Um, and you know
Eric
what?
is shaking his head. Yes.
Yes, that me personally, sure, I have done that in my younger days when I didn't know better. But and that is because, and I'm gonna say this, no shade, no tea, a lot of us are raised that way. A lot of young black women rather are raised that way. We see strong mothers, we saw strong grandmother, strong auntie that were single women, heading households, doing all the things. So that's become normalized. It's normalized until somebody tells you or shows you something differently. And so then you have to take a step back at some point. I can't keep blaming them. That's the hand they were dealt, or whatever the case may be, or what they thought was best at the time. But there comes a point of accountability in our own lives and say, okay, well, hey, wait a minute. I was raised seeing this, and I've adapted that into my persona, but I see this over here and this works great. I see a teamwork. I see two people working together. I see two people that have crafted the roles in their household that works for them, and they have a partnership. And so, okay, so how does this mechanism of a relationship or marriage or whatever, how is this really supposed to work? Because that has not been my experience. I didn't see that. And sometimes that takes some unlearning, which is the value of coaching. Sometimes it takes some unlearning of those behaviors, those words that go with those behaviors, those attitudes, those facial expressions. Just a is a paragraph. So yes, it took some unlearning, and I do see young women today, my heart goes out to them because they've got a lot of unlearning to do. It's a lot socially that is really ingraining, to be anti-men, to be anti-marriage, even though they want to be married. They don't know how to get to the altar. They don't know how to get the ring. Everything they're doing and saying is repelling the man that they say that they want.
Yeah, yeah. And Eric, before I ask you this question, for everybody out there, it looks like our favorite guest, well, other than Eric, who's hated most, Omar has found the Lord. I now look for a woman who pursues Jesus. Omar, when did this happen? When did this happen?
Praise the
Omar
Lord.
done found the Lord. We got to give him a hand.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
What, that he found the
Because
Lord?
say it again.
That he found the Lord?
Well, I was trying to read the comments, but he
I
says
know.
he's looking for a woman that wants to pursue the Lord with him, right? Right. And we all like our flavor. We all got a flavor of what we like. And sometimes, even though we like the flavor, it may not be good for us. And um, when you just like Coach Jay said, how we were raised. We're raised like this. Like men are raised to go out, hey man, go out and conquer as much as you can. And then women are raised, hey, save yourself, be independent. Don't let no man, run over you. Those are two different, you know, structure like that because we're raised this way, we're raised that way. And then what she says, we have to unlearn all of that to learn what works, in today's time. Like every for the last 6 weeks, we've done a men's Bible study at Concord. Um, and so sitting at the table and having these discussions with with men, it's like, what if we'd had something like that when I was coming up as a kid? How
Mhm.
beneficial would that have been as opposed to learning stuff from my cousin that was an alcoholic or
Mm,
another family that was a drug dealer. These are the areas of the things that we learn, and then once you get older, it's like, you know what, all of that was absolutely 100% wrong. So now I got to
mhm,
unlearn all of that and then try to learn how I need to be for the person that I'm trying to have something with.
So what were you resistant to trying to learn these things before? Because you were married before.
Yeah.
So were you resistant to unlearn these things and make a
No, no, no.
sacrifice
I was
then?
never a resistance. I was raised in a single parent household, and my ex wife was raised in a dual parent household. And in her mind, you know, uh, how she was raised was right. Well, in my mind, how I was raised was right. But my whole goal was we have to figure out what's going to work in this household, not what
mhm,
I grew up in and what you grew up in, because those are two different runways. And so now we
mhm,
need to try to come together and figure out what's going to work up under this address. Because I can't, if you cook the greens one way and then I tell you my Aunt Mildred cook the greens another way, that's going to be a problem. I just eat the greens, the way you cook them and be done. But then here it is, you want to, well, my daddy said, I don't care what your daddy said. Your daddy don't run nothing over here, you know?
mhm,
And so those are things that I had to learn. I'm like, I have to. we have to learn how to build what's in our household for our household. Unlearn those behaviors, learn what's going to work for you. Hey, listen to your man. Like Coach Jay said, what she's looking for, protection, provision, what structure, there was some other thing. That's what she's looking for. I'm looking for something else. Okay, how do we mesh that together to make it work for us?
Mm-hmm.
You asking
Good
Coach
stuff.
Jay? I didn't know if he
Say it
was
again?
proposing. I didn't know if you was
Oh.
proposing to Coach
No,
Jay or
no,
not.
yeah, I was going to ask him. We just have to mesh. I'm sorry, we have to mesh that together to make that work for us. You
It
know,
was the awkward
and she
pause for
said,
me. I was like, well, I
I'm sorry,
don't
hold on. She said something else, and I wrote my notes down. The right
Oh,
person and the power of words, because you have to have the right person in your life, and then
know.
your significant other has the power to speak, life into you or take it out of you. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
go in there, put a suit on, walk out that door, keep your head up, walk into that interview and tell them you want $250,000 because this is what it's going to take to run this household. But
Mm-hmm.
then the other words could be, you ain't qualified for that job. You don't have what it takes to get that job. I don't even know why you even doing that. It's like, what? But the power of words,
Mm-hmm.
and so we have to learn how to speak, positive things into that person's life, because some people are weak and it can kill them. Some people, it can make them stronger. So it just depends.
so Eric, let me ask you this here question because you and I we've talked about this before. So I just want to ask you this here though. Do you think the amount of money a woman makes is a concern of a man?
No, not at all. We don't see when if we go out and see a woman, we don't care what her well, let me speak for me. I don't care what her bank account looks like. I don't care what her credit score looks like. I don't care none about that. If we can come together and make it work for us, that's all I care about. You will never see me pull up in a gas station and see a woman in a nice car and say, "Ooh, I like your car. I like your purse. I like your shoes." I don't care nothing about that. The first thing come in mind, ooh, she fine. What that look like? What that feel like? What that tastes like? Hey, I'm just saying.
But you don't believe that those things, like, because we live in a world now where it requires a two-income house.
Mm-hmm.
We live in that world now. We don't live in that world back in the day. Like my mom didn't work and there was 6 of us, but she had her responsibilities at home. She took care of everything. We didn't ever want for anything. My dad took care of all of that, but life was different back then.
Right.
But now we live in an environment that if you want the lifestyle we see, the houses that we see nowadays, you can't get a nice house up under $500,000. That's just the way that it is. You can't get that. And you have to have a second income sometimes to get that. So a woman coming in, she has to, I mean, unless this dude is just making a lot of money, a lot of money, I don't know, Eric. That sounds a little off, but I mean, I guess
Well,
you say you don't care about that, so that's you.
I don't care about that. When I walked into the season and purchased a house, I was married at the time, but I did it by myself. Um, and the reason why, because if I would have put her in the mix, it would have decreased my debt to income ratio. So when I went and did what I did, the guy says, "Hey man, he can get whatever he wants because his debt to income ratio is phenomenal. Now, if he takes on this, it's going to lower you down to this." And we had a discussion about it, and moved forward and got what I got. But every move that I made was based on what I could do on my salary. That's how I did it.
So was
Because let's say um, you get to the altar and you go through the process. See, it's easy to get to the altar. Getting to the altar is easy. It's after the altar. It's when all the work starts.
Mhm.
And to be able to maintain all the dysfunction, within that household, because it's a lot of it. So what I said is like, okay, if this does not work out, will the ship keep sailing? And the ship kept sailing. Now, I never said the ship didn't go into rough waters. I never said the ship didn't get tossed around. I just said, will the ship be able to keep sailing? And the ship is still sailing.
okay, so let me ask you this here question, Eric. So do you think if you saw value in her credit score, how much she makes before you got married, do you think that would have probably been, because credit is not something that just goes bad when you get married? That's not something that goes bad. And I know you have that mentality that you don't care about how much a woman makes. So maybe these weren't questions that you asked, but it impacted your life once you got married.
Well,
So don't think there's no value in those conversations?
yeah, it's a lot of value. We took the class CSI, couple seriously interested, and you have to go through this class, and then once you pass the class, you get married. And we did a grand wedding at Concord. We did the second grand wedding that they had. So all of these things are discussed: credit, finances, budget, all of that was discussed. But the way that I set it up is I want to do everything based on what I was doing at that time. I mean, I'm making I'm make, I'm making crazy money. I'm making crazy money. So I could do it, you know. And again, I did it all based on everything that was on me, So if if they were to take the $60,000 that they were bringing away from the table, because see, if she making 60 and I'm making 100, we have 160. So then now we based the house on that income. Well, what if either person leaves? Now you back to whatever your income is. That income has been taken away. Now problems are going to start happening because you factored it in on that income. So what I did is I just did it based on solely what I did, what I was making, and here we are today.
Yeah, and I get that, but I mean, those are your thoughts, your feelings, and everything. But and I understand you are basing your life like if that income is removed, I'm accustomed to living on my own income. That's kind of like what I'm hearing here. I'm accustomed, but the difference is if that goes away, you got two people living on one person's income. It's two people, so it's not the same as one person living on $100,000. Now you have two people living on $100,000, and I get what you're saying and all of this other kind of stuff. But and I know that and I'm not challenging your thoughts on that, but I do think these are the conversations that need to be had, regardless to whether you value those things or not. These are conversations that need to be had before you get married. So, uh,
Absolutely.
so Omar says it's not so much uh her income. Is she a good steward of her, income? Does she know how to budget? So these are all valid questions because those things do take, you know, it's super important once you get married. So Jeanine, so let me ask you this here. Does it matter how much a man makes for you to you?
It doesn't matter to me, but it matters. The it doesn't matter to me, but it matters to me because I know it matters to him. Some men can't get past that number if that woman's number is higher because they don't feel like they're going to be the head of the household or be the shot caller and that sort of thing. So that's why it matters to me. I have to see, like, I have to know where a man's head is at. And when it comes to income, even say a woman, her gross annual income is $100,000. She's a six-figure earner. But if her debt is 50, so she's not making 100,000. She's not bringing 100,000 home. She's bringing 50. And if his income is 50, but he has no debt, then that's a solid 50. So we working with 100,000, not 150. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to look at the total financial picture in all of that because a lot of these women that are CEOs or high earners or they're business owners and they're in the millions, but they have overhead. They're paying people, they have business expenses, so it's not $1 million. It's not $1 million. So
Yeah.
what else are we leaning on? Yes, we got to discuss that, but then what else are we leaning on to have the strength of this relationship?
So Jeanine,
Because
would you get one account? Would you just have your money deposited into one account for him to spend however much he want to spend? That's where you want to call me the N word. You lost your mind.
ninja. So that's where you want to have, like, say, this is the account for household expenses, this is savings, and then you
No,
want to need
no,
something for
no.
your fun book.
One
Your
account.
fun book.
One account. One account. Would you do
Well,
one account?
isn't this? I've done that before. I've done that before, but here's the caveat. Okay, I didn't know no better. But but when I say I didn't know any better, I mean what that dynamic looks like when you have a spender saver combination. One person is a spender, one person is a saver. That's called an argument. So you have to be creative and say you got a budget amount for you to because you like to blow money fast. So you got to have your blow money fast account right there. There's yours. If it's empty, it's empty. But this right here got to be for mortgage and car insurance and your household bills. And
No.
everything in both people name. But if you have a spender, you got see. Here's the thing too. Here's the
And we
thing
got to
about
have
money.
Janine, and we got to have separate accounts. I don't need you. We need to have one account.
No,
You
it
put
is
all
one account.
no,
It's
all.
both names are on all these different accounts.
And if you make more than me, I can spend how I want to spend. Right?
Preach, John. Preach.
Right?
Preach, John.
No, because the more than you may not be the more than you. I just said if somebody just say somebody is make their gross annual income is 100,000, but their debt toll is 50 or 60,000. They're not bringing in 100,000. So
Janine,
you do
you
whatever
just
you can do with
lost
that
me.
30.
You just lost me, Janine. You just lost me. You flipped the
Okay.
switch. You flipped the switch here.
Okay,
So,
is the question okay, let's simplify the question. Is should a married couple have one account?
well, yeah, I'm asking now, should a married couple, would you? You make 250, I make
Hmm.
50. Are you gonna
Hmm.
put your money in my account? And we just spend.
In our account,
Yeah, our
our
account.
account.
Yeah, our account. And we just
You can
spend.
be in one account.
And
What you
I can just
spend it on?
I knew money
What
mattered. I
you
knew money
mean?
mattered. I knew money mattered. I
No,
knew
I'm
money
saying
mattered.
it matters. Okay, here's the thing. Money is very emotional. You know why? Because I'm exchanging my life for money. When you work for somebody else or when you work, you're exchanging your life for money. So that's why it's such a emotional topic because it's like you can't blow my life away. I just exchange my life for money until your money is working for you, right? Until your money is working for you. That's where investment stocks and all that kind of stuff where your money is working for you. So if you are somebody who's working for your money, you're gonna be like, okay, listen, babe, I love you, all that good stuff. But listen, we got to put some boundaries around our income, or we're gonna be in the poorhouse. Like you guys are gonna just go crazy. But I know that is something that a lot of women do when it's a man that makes a lot of money. They want to just go and spend and do all the things. They don't work. They want to shop. They get hair, nails, treatment, spa day, all of that.
You know, and
Okay. I feel
yeah,
like if I'm working and you're working, we're both working, we got to have some financial boundaries where we feel like we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, not just one person going blowing money fast just because it's there. I don't care who's making the money. You can't just go blow money fast just because. Obviously, you can tell I speak the language of somebody who likes to save. 'Cause
Eric. Eric, you see how the cards done turned? You see how the cards now she want to put him on the budget. She want to put
Right,
him on the
right, right.
budget. Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
I'm on a budget too. I would be on a budget too.
Nah.
Red bottoms, Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton bags, all kinds of stuff. When he bringing that money in, and it's there's no conscious thought process on the spending, especially when it's on somebody else's account.
Uh-uh.
Athletes run into it all the time, and they got, well, we think they have a lot of money when they really don't. And the woman just, well, I'm just gonna go shop and I'm gonna go get a massage and I'm gonna go get her this. Okay, let's turn that around. Let's say, Coach J, $250,000. Okay, well, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stay at home, and me and John, we're gonna start this podcast. And we need this for the podcast. We need that for the podcast. And then we're gonna go and get some new microphones. And we just gonna buy. Somebody gonna look at that account and like, wait a minute. Wait. Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on over here?
I agree.
Why y'all need new shirts this season?
So Eric, we got a question for you though, dude. They asked, would
Okay.
you date a woman who makes more than you?
Absolutely. And I wrote that down. Just because she makes more than me, that don't mean she the head of the household.
That's what I'm saying. You still have to put boundaries around that. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me, but I know it matters to me because it matters to him. If you're not, if you're not a man that goes into the relationship saying, "I know who I am, I know my role, my place," and that's the kind of household structure you want to have, very patriarchal, then that's going to be a problem for you because she's automatically going to hear, okay, you trying to run things around me. If she's not in that mindset of being you being submitted to each other, it's going to come down to money. Got to be something else that holds the strength of the relationship together. I'm
Yes.
I'm the type of woman that's going to invest in my man's vision. I'm the one that's be like, babe, you always talking this stuff with your friends. Y'all over here hanging out in the den. Y'all need to start a podcast. See, that's going to be me. I'm gonna be telling you,
And we
y'all
got
sit
a
out
two
here
hundred
and
fifty
talk.
thousand
Y'all gotta
dollar
do that.
budget.
Okay.
Yeah, put on the budget.
Okay. Then we gonna be in the poorhouse together. Then we gonna go
Okay.
stay with your mama because y'all
So
gonna
let me
spend all the money.
so,
Okay.
so you just said something really interesting, and this is something that Omar is definitely an advocate for. You
Mm.
believe in roles, Jeanine, in the marriage? You believe in roles in the relationship? Because that's a big
Oh.
problem in dating nowadays. Roles.
You say
Hmm.
Rose?
Roles. Some women don't believe there are roles. We're equal.
I
There's
don't want to be
no
equal to you. I don't want to be equal to a man. I don't
okay.
want to be. I have
Okay.
no desire to be. So yes, there are some well-defined roles. Do I want to go take out the trash? Absolutely not. I don't want to go to the dumpster. I don't want to go to the end of the driveway.
Why
I
not?
do it because I have to. I don't want to. Why? I
But
now the way I was raised, all my is there's girls and boys. I'm five of five, so we had to do all chores. My brothers had to wash dishes. We had to do trash, things like that. I
Janine, if
don't
I came home from a
want
long
to
day of
do it.
work, if I came home
Hmm.
from a long day of work and there's trash in that trash can, I'm gonna blow a gasket.
no, John, call it while you
I'm gonna
at
blow
it.
a gasket if I come home and you done sat at home all day long and that
No,
trash
John,
is in that trash can.
I'm saying if I'm working too. You mean like if I was at home? I'm
If,
an
if
at home wife. There was there was
whoever beats who home first, take it out. If I came home and you just got home
yeah.
an hour before me, and you're gonna just say, "Oh, I don't feel like I don't like taking out trash," and you let that
Right.
trash wait for me,
No.
we're gonna have some
Now if
problems.
it's
Hey,
if it's a
hey,
meat carton in there, it's stinking up the kitchen. I'm gonna take that out. That's going. I'm not gonna leave it for you. But I'm saying if it's dark outside and the whole trash toter, like the trash can, put the trash in. You gotta take it to the end of the driveway and it's dark down there. I don't want to do that.
We don't live in
see,
the
If I'm a
ghetto.
senior,
We don't live in the ghetto. You making $500,000.
we live in the
We
gated,
rich.
in the gated community.
well then we
Hey,
hire somebody. They done already did all that. We got a maid.
hey, hey, John. Uh, don't wait till she get home. Call her when she at work and tell her, hey, you forgot to take the trash out. Do that. Yeah. Call her at work and tell her, hey, you forgot to take the trash out this morning.
See,
Omar said John better take the trash out before work. I wish I would. Let that trash be in that trash can when I get home. We've been having a problem. Ain't nobody sleeping tonight.
I take the trash if I get there first. You grab the meal on your way home.
So you
Go to the grocery store.
I know Eric believes in roles. He believes in roles. That's why
Hmm.
he doesn't see the value in those other things. He believes a woman should be submissive, do whatever he asks her to do, no questions, no problems. Just do it. That I'm
No
summing our
question.
conversations up, Eric. Yeah. You just
No
want her to shut up.
question.
Yeah, he want her to
Oh
shut up, put
wow.
out, and put on the table. For real. That's really what Eric wants.
Well,
Oh.
so Jay, you gonna get out and cut the grass?
If I okay, like I said, as a single woman, we do these more masculine tasks because we have to, not because we want to. These are things that have to get done. There's nobody else there to do them. But if I have the option, I have a man in the house. Yes, I want him to cut the grass. I don't want to be out there with grass flying on my face and sneezing from allergies. No, you strong enough to push the mower.
Right.
But if I'm a single
And,
woman, then
and,
I got
and
to
when I
do it, or
come
I
in the
got to
house,
hire somebody to do it. But I'm gonna make sure you have some
and when I
cold
come in the
drinks out
house,
there. You're gonna have a sandwich, some chicken wings. You're gonna have a snack. You're gonna have all that for cutting the grass.
I love Marquita. She said, I do grass and she love it. That's what I'm talking about, Marquita. Do grass.
yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
and
talking
make
about.
sure the grass is cut at the right height too.
See, that's where you come in. See, like you're gonna be particular. It's gonna be cut, and the HOA gonna be off your back. That's it. Now you want the blade to be this side of 90-degree angle, like it's at the golf course. Now you got to get out there with that one.
Uh-oh.
But I'll make sure you have cold drink, and you're gonna have a nice sandwich and some chips on the plate. I'll even bring it out there and serve it to you.
Miss Tiff brought up a good point. Cutting grass is every 2 weeks, not cooking every day. No comparison. Well, Miss Tiff, that's where you went wrong.
That's
My yard
it.
is cut every Friday. Grass is to be cut every Friday, not no every 2 weeks. No, we ain't doing all of that. But I get it. Cooking every day. I get it. It's no comparison. You can't compare grass cutting to cooking every day. I get that.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so you said you don't want to be equals. You want to take more of the submissive role. I'm
We
talking to
need this.
you,
Me?
Coach.
Okay. So yeah, I there was a time, there was a chapter in my life. I had my car, it was a beater. You know what a beater is?
Yeah, a hoopty.
Okay, I had yeah, the beater car, hoopty. So I had to learn how to keep that car running, keep it on the road. Like I learned how to check for the oil, check the fluids, all that kind of stuff, and get my hands dirty because the car would be on the side of the road. And so did I want to do it? No. Did I enjoy it? No. Did I have to do it so I could get to work and pick my kids up? Yes. So what I'm saying is, if I had the option of a man doing it, which I phone a friend, be like, I did all the things. You know, he might be like, tap it 3 times on the carburetor. I don't know, whatever the man did to get the car running, but he did. So I'm saying is a lot of things that single women do, we do them because we have to, not because we want to or necessarily enjoy them. Like I said, if I'm getting on my flight and I'm struggling to get my bag up over in the baggage thing, and a man said, "Oh, let me help you with that, ma'am." Oh, thank you. And I sit right on down. Thank you,
I'm
I'll be
so
sitting in the back of the plane. She independent. Let her do it.
sir. Oh no, I'm not giving off independent woman energy. I'm not giving off that. Light as
Hey,
a
that was a
feather,
joke, y'all.
soft
That
as
was
a
a joke.
rose.
That was a joke.
that was a joke. And Marquita said, John pays someone to cut his yard. I do. I like a nice yard. Growing up, my dad had cut his yard every year. Eric
Mhm,
can tell you this here. When I first moved into my home, I cut my yard every Friday myself. I cut my
mhm.
own yard every Friday. I'll be out there 2 or 3 hours cutting my yard. But now I don't do that. I
Wow.
do pay somebody to do it. It's cheaper, easier to have somebody do it. But no, grass is cut every week. And Omar, you're
Mhm,
right. Your cousins do it. They do cut it. So there you go. But okay, so roles do play a part in for both of you guys, Eric and you.
mhm,
So okay. So
mhm,
those are value things though. Those are things that I believe can be valuable to someone
mhm,
else. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So Eric,
mhm,
so like I'm asking you this here. So would you date a high valued woman
Absolutely.
now? Now,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
even though you're not high, you don't believe you're high valued, would you still date her?
Um, you saying right now?
Yeah.
No, no, not in this season. Not in this season because it's going to be a conflict. It's going to be a conflict,
And what do
and
you when you
uh,
say conflict? What do you mean?
it depends on that individual's mindset, where they are, you know, in their mind. Are they are they wanting to bring somebody in their life who's, starting starting something from nothing and trying to build it, as he go along, and there's not a set time that money comes in. Like you go out and you have a 9 to 5, a everyday job. You're going to get paid every week, every 2 weeks. Well, my stuff doesn't work like that. I go out and get these opportunities or these contracts. John, you were aware of this. I landed a contract with the company that um, I used to work for, doing the trucks, and they were net 45. I'm sitting there like, because when I was conveyed, you know, uh, the information at first, it's like, okay, as soon as you submit the invoice, you get paid. Come to find out, it's 45 days later. Now here it is. I did the work. Now I got to wait 45 days to get paid. Mm, you know, and having a high value person in your life, if you have to have somebody that's going to understand, that aspects of it. Hey, it's not like every Friday a check is going to hit the account. I may pick up money that day. I may not pick up money, for several days. I may not, get any money for several weeks. So, you just have to have the right person that understands that part of it.
Yeah, but isn't that value?
So,
The
yeah,
understanding
yeah,
isn't that value?
that's the extreme value, true value.
Right. And yeah, and that has nothing to do with money. That goes back to what Coach Jay was saying earlier. That has nothing to do with money. Her understanding and
Yes, her
listening and
understanding of that.
pushing you and moving you in the direction that you need to go, that's adding value to your life. That's adding value to
mhm,
your life. So yeah, I think with value, again, like I said in the beginning, I was asked that like 3 years ago, am I a high value dude? I believe I'm a high value dude, but to someone else, I may not be high value. The
mhm,
other person is the one that appraises you.
mhm,
What they need and what you can fulfill in their life is value. Some people don't care about how much money you make because they don't need you for your money. They may
Mhm.
need you for the companionship,
Right.
your
Mhm.
willingness to go and do, be there for them when they do need it. And like Coach Jay said,
Mhm.
she don't want to do a yard. A man that mows a woman yard, that's value to her because she's not having to
Yes.
pay somebody else to do it. So you have
Mhm.
to find what is valuable to the person that you're dating and dealing with. I never count myself out on any situation because, like I said,
Mhm.
nah, you can't say you're not a high value man because you're not making six
Mhm.
figures, you know. So Kevin Samuels made his money off of degrading folks and making them feel bad
Mhm.
about themselves. So and telling women they not high value women and their degrees aren't important. That was some BS. That was some BS. So yeah, and
Mhm.
I'll say that 1,000 times. That's BS. When a woman does something that is to be celebrated, we celebrate her. And it may
Mhm.
not be valuable to us, but it doesn't mean that it's not valuable. So
Yeah.
yeah. So y'all, this has been like real tonight. So Omar gave a message for you, Eric. He says, brother, you are enough as you are today. Yeah, you deserve a high value woman. You deserve a high value woman. So I agree with that. So, you know,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
y'all have any closing words for the people on tonight? Coach Jay, you have any closing words?
Oh, sure, sure. At the end of the day, we all have our self work to do. And if you ask yourself this question, the version of myself that I am today, is it because I'm a product of not being loved well or of my choices? And did I make the choices that I make because I've never been loved well? Meaning, I don't see the value in myself because others haven't reciprocated that to me, or nobody's ever told me or shown me that support, or that I deserve that good treatment, that I deserve unconditional love, that I deserve grace, you know, for the times I did mess up. And if no one else has loved you well ever before, then it's incumbent upon us to start loving ourselves well and to start seeing our own value, reward ourselves. The things that I used to say to myself in my own head, to my own self, I would never say to anybody else.
Mhm.
And that's when you have to take a step back and say, why do I even talk to myself that way? As much encouragement as I'm giving out and light and love to others. So it has to start right here first. So I just want to encourage everybody to, start loving yourself well. And, if you don't know where to start doing that, that's what coaching is for. That is what counseling is for, therapy, all of these things to give you those tools, to put in your toolbox to start seeing yourself in that beautiful light that you were created. And it's okay. I did a post recently saying it's okay to be happy. It's really okay to be happy. Don't let anything or anybody steal that joy from you. It's okay to bask in that moment. Sometimes we feel guilty because we happy or we finally in a good space, you know. And some people that are around you can't handle that good version of you. They can only deal with you when you're down. So just make a big effort to invest in yourself, love yourself, get the negative words out of your head, the negative perception of yourself. Start speaking words of life in your own life first, because however, I've always heard it said that who we date or marry is a reflection of us. So if you're not reflecting something good, you're going to keep picking the same bad people or people that are bad for you. They might not be bad people, they could be, but they're just bad for you.
Yeah.
So, in order to change that, we attract who we are. We got to start cleaning that inside up. So, I just want to encourage everybody to do that. Seek those tools, those books, podcasts like this, coaching, therapy, counseling, all those things to start loving yourself well. Let this year be the year you start loving yourself well. So you can attract better if you truly want to be in a great relationship.
Yeah. So, Coach Jay, I have one final question to ask you before we get out of here. So would you date a high value man that makes $40,000 and live at home with his mama?
It's to live at home with mama. That's the problem, not the
See,
money.
I knew it. I knew you was a gold digger.
Because he gonna have to choose. If he been at home with mama all this time, she ain't gonna let him go. Listen, you talking to a boy mom. She ain't gonna let him go. That's her man now. I'm infringing on enemy territory. Nope. So I already been there, done that.
Eric, you have any final words for him tonight?
My final words is not everybody is able to survive at the altitude that you're at. And so I've learned to like, I just say to myself, hey, look, Lord, if somebody's on my mountain that don't deserve to be on my mountain, if I ain't got enough sense to throw them off, or they ain't got enough sense to jump off, then Lord, you kick them off. And then if I'm on somebody's mountain that I ain't supposed to be on their mountain, and I ain't got enough sense to jump off, kick off, and they ain't got enough sense to throw me off, Lord, you kick me off. So that's my take on things at this point, because not everybody's able to walk through the seasons that you're going in. So I just, I move differently. I move slowly at this point, and just real very 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 selective on things that people that I choose, things that I do, for the season that I'm in, because again, not everybody's capable of handling it. And
Absolutely.
they see me for what used to be, not for what it is now. You know, and a lot of people don't see where I'm trying to go. So I'm like, I just move the way that I move at this point. But the altitude that I am flying at, I mean, it's a very, very high altitude. It's lonely, it's scary, it's a lot of things, but it's also rewarding. It's very, man, it's very, very peaceful. It's very, very peaceful. So
Yeah.
that's how I move and shake at this point.
Okay. Well, guys, I hate to be the one that goes against everything y'all have said on tonight. So the version of me need you to have a good paying job, and the version of me in 10 years need you to have a good paying job paying better than today. So there you go. Hey. Y'all said jobs don't matter, salary matters. Yes, salary matters here. So I need you to have a good job today and a better job in 5 years. So we moving on up here. But no, I'm just kidding. But guys, this has been amazing. Guys,
Well, hey, John, let me ask you a question.
yo,
Would you date somebody that was making $30,000 living at home with their mama?
absolutely not.
Men do it every day. They date, they marry, not date, marry the girl that's on fries at Burger King and skip right over the one that has a master's
No,
degree.
no.
So
We
make
don't.
it make sense.
No, I'm 53, so I try to date around my age. If you still living with somebody in your 40s and your 50s, we are incompatible. No
So
roommates. My
what
house
if
ain't
it's a
gonna be the
what
only
if it's a
place.
roommate? What if it's a roommate?
No,
No, okay.
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You need to have your own. I have my own, because you're gonna go back home. You're never gonna live with me. So you need to go back home and have your own space. So there you go. There you go. 2 to 3 days you can stay here. Fourth day, I need you to go home because I need my peace and quiet. So there you go. There
John,
you go.
John, what
They
about
they go they go bring a they
being
gonna bring an
banging,
overnight
but
bag, and then the next time they gonna bring a laundry basket.
Eric, let me tell you. Let me tell you this.
John,
Huh?
John and Eric, I got one question for you all.
Okay.
Okay, say Eric, next chapter, you back, financially where you want to be and even more because God always does greater. And then John, you're elevating, you're doing things, podcast gets syndicated. So now you're up here, you going higher financially, business wise, connections, all of that. Who's that woman that matches that? And would you just get a prenup and say, okay, she's not going to make this or she doesn't make this, but I like everything else. Why not just get a prenup? And then you don't have to worry about what that person is there for. If they don't want to
Prenup it
sign a
is.
prenup, then do it. That's it.
Prenup it is.
Okay, good. There you go, Eric. Prenup
And
it
I don't
is.
care if I got $1 in the bank. I'm gonna make her sign a prenup for that damn dollar.
That's right. And then we can have a one account. You can have all the one accounts you want. You got a prenup in place.
Oh, then we'll do like Shawnee did Shaq. Every time he give her money, she was depositing it in another account and still spending his money. That's what we'll do. Yeah, Eric, let's run a Shawnee on him.
Yeah, yeah. Cause she making 250,000.
Yeah, she make 250,000.
The podcast and the White House luxury car detail, we gonna be okay, John. We gonna be all right.
John didn't agree to the prenup. John,
No,
he don't want a prenup.
I don't want prenup. Marriage is not my calling, so we just no prenups even needed. Let's see. Okay, y'all see what I don't have my glasses on tonight. Y'all see what Marquita said down at the
Yeah,
her
she
comment?
said, or shall it be? You're so high in that level that you don't need that person to work. $250,000. We ain't got to work.
Who
Well,
don't need to work?
Jay was saying that she was at $250,000.
Yeah, Jay, we can take we can make it off of 275. Yo, 250, my 25. Yeah. We can make it. We'll be good.
I keep going down. Now you at 25,000.
We'll be good.
Hey, John, just make sure that trash is out and that grass is cut.
Yeah, that's all. You just need somebody to take out the trash, your needs and your value, and the man is low. Just take out the trash. You know, I don't want to motor yard, put gas in her car, do all of that good stuff. You good. Right, Jay? Right, Coach Jay?
She got a beater.
25,000?
Yeah. Her tune doesn't start changing.
She got a beater anyway, so it ain't no luxury car. So we're going to be all right. Whenever she leaves, just make sure she got a quarter oil and a quarter transmission fluid in the trunk, just in case something goes wrong.
Right, so here we go. Here we go, right here. Somebody said, oh no, she working. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody is saying she works. She got to work. You got to be 2 incomes in the house. It can't just be one, Eric.
Okay.
But Eric, okay. I bet that second income would come in handy right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Invest that second income into a podcast and a mobile detailing business.
Exactly. We syndicate.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Eric and Jeanine, this has been amazing. I'm gonna have to get y'all back on for part 2 of this here soon.
Okay. That's the deal.
And let me tell y'all this is so true. Like, so normally I don't get text messages on why the podcast is going on because everybody know I'm focused. But tonight, when I tell you, Eric, my phone has been blowing up because of you. They don't want to put it in the chat. I'm telling you, you like one of the hated guests on this podcast.
Even tonight?
That means the ratings is gonna go up.
The who?
That means the ratings is gonna go up. You know, hey, hate me.
But ladies, y'all know how y'all want to change a bad man. So y'all can book an appointment with White Tile Luxury Car. Let Eric come and clean y'all car, and y'all can change him while he there cleaning y'all car, right, Eric?
Yeah, you can talk all the noise. Just make sure you got my money. Hey, tell me you don't like me. I look ugly on the podcast. Whatever. Have my money.
Oh my God.
Eric, they said they praying for you, dude. They praying for
Pray
you.
for me. I need prayer. I need it.
Oh, Marquita's bringing race in here. What?
What about the non-Hispanic, non-Black and Hispanic households? They aren't working.
Oh, she talk about the woman not working. Well, no, we ain't them. We Black and we Hispanic.
Yeah,
you going to work every day. You going to work every day.
Go to work and come home and cook me something to eat.
Yeah.
Eric, do you know how to cook?
Yes. Yeah, I can cook.
I know. Y'all Southern men know how to cook, so don't even play.
Yeah,
Y'all know how to
I can
make
cook.
ribs and all kind of stuff. See?
And
Yeah.
and ladies, now Eric, he talks a lot of stuff, but I tell you this here, Eric buys like expensive stuff. What's that butcher you go to and you be buying the T-bone steaks and all of that stuff for about $200, and you still got to go home and cook them? What's the place?
So, you say the T-bone steak?
You go to a butcher and you buy steaks.
Oh yeah. It was a butcher when I was driving. I would stop at this butcher and get large ribeyes. Ribeyes.
Yeah, he sent me a picture and I said, "How much did you pay for that?" And he paid
I'm
almost
cooking.
$200 for it, and he had to go home and cook it. No, I'm not paying for
It was
no
a bunch of
meat.
stuff.
I got to go home and cook. So, ladies, y'all can get with Eric. He may not be a high value man, but he got good taste. He like to eat good.
Yes.
He buys beef ribs at Terry Black that cost $88. So y'all,
We're going to Terry Black.
yeah, he likes to go to Terry Black. So, and we about to go for it, but y'all, this is a true story. So Eric called me up one night. We met down at Terry Black's. It was my first experience at Terry Black's. Eric called me up. He said, "Say, man, my ATM card is not working. Can you give me some money, whatever?" So I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what do you need?" And he said, "Can you get $100?" So I was like, "Sure, no worries." And I'm thinking like, that's kind of extreme for a barbecue joint, but okay, you need $100. He better give me my money back. I don't care what he needs. So I get the $100. I get there, and y'all, we are in line, right? So Terry Black is a la carte. You get the vegetables and then you get the meat over there and all that kind of stuff. So Eric was ahead of me and I'm getting some vegetables. I haven't even gotten to the meat. And Eric came, he said, "Say, man, I need some more money." And I was like, huh? And he said, "I need some more money." And I was just like, "Okay, well, I'll just pay for it when I get over there, or whatever." And so I get over there, and Eric's ticket was $114, right? So I'm like, and my ticket was maybe like $40. And I'm like, what did this dude get? And we get to the
Dino
table.
rib.
Eric got the beef rib, and it was $35 a pound. And this fool got it, and then he told me, he said, "Well, I'm gonna just take one bite and I'm gonna throw it away." I told him, "I don't give a damn what you do. Your ass pay me my money back tonight." If that's how you want to waste your money, buddy, waste on, but I'm getting my money back tonight. So, ladies, he loves Terry Black. So if y'all want to go and have Terry Black, just go on White Tile Luxury and he'll hook you up.
I'm looking for a high value woman to take me to Terry Black.
Okay. All right, y'all. So until next Monday, peace.
Bye.
Yeah. Real life stories and transparent conversations, hustle and grind, love and relationships, with all the tools for living your best life. It's the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. The Dope Ass Dude Podcast.